And that's what the directions will look like. Is the point a solution to the equation? What it will look like first.
So, okay, so this is review M. Professor AJ, you can't give things two names.
Well, I am. I'm breaking the rules. Okay, so I'm going to give you two problems. So that first one, 2x plus 3y equals 9. And when you have a point, the first number represents which letter?
Y.
The
X, and then Y.
And the second number represents
Y.
And remember, you're just plugging both of those numbers in and seeing, does it make sense? Go ahead and try both of those and I'll walk you through it. And even if you can do it in your head, that's great, but I need you to prove it to me. Show me if it works or not. Don't just say yes or no. Listen like the whole side of it. What is that? Remember, you do not have to bring graph paper Monday. I will have it on the test. No, can you turn it today? Okay, I'm just going to start that first one. I've got 2 times my x, which is 3. So I'm just changing my x to a 3. Plus 3 times my y, which is negative 2, equals 9. So all I did was change the letters to the appropriate numbers. Then you have to do your operations. So I've got to do my multiplication first. So 2 times 3 would give me 6. What would a positive 3 times a negative 2 be?
Negative 6.
Negative 6, or minus 6. Equals 9. And 6 minus 6 is 0. So that definitely does not equal 9. And you can either show me just by putting the little slash through the equals, or you could say does not work. So that's how you will prove it to me on the test. Show me the arithmetic or show me does it make sense or does it not make sense. Same thing with number 2. Again, I'm going to change my letters to their appropriate numbers.
Or could you just put no?
Yeah. Plus my y is 1 equals 7. Again, I've got to do order of operations, so I've got to do the multiplying first. So 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. Aha. 7 equals 7. So does work. Or yes.
Okay. But your y up there was a 2.
What?
Oh, I looked at the different patterns.
Okay. Second set of directions. Determining the xy intercepts. Now, I'm telling you the hint is cover-up method, but I'm not going to say that on the test. That part you've got to remember, that that's how you're going to find the xy intercepts. So part 2 is determining the x and y intercepts. here, remember, you're just filling in your chart there by doing the cover. Takes them.
Can you bring that down a little bit? Professor, can you bring down that just, okay, check. It's a point of social question. Okay.
She's got you all paranoid.
I have something very cool to show you. I'm going to show you after these two problems. Okay. Number 3, cover-up method. If we're trying to find the x-intercept, you've got to cover up the letter you don't care about. So I don't care about the y. So you would say to yourself, 3 times what gives you 24? What would be your missing number? 8. So that's the number that goes in the book. If you're trying to find the y-intercept, cover up the letter you don't need. 4 times what number gives you 24? 6. And you found your x and y intercepts. That's all you gotta do. Same thing with 4. If I cover up my y, now I've got negative 3 times what gives you positive 12?
Negative 4.
A negative 4, because 2 negatives would give you that positive answer. So negative 4. And then if I cover up my x, 2 times what would give you 12?
6.
So you've got 2 like that. So you just find the x, y intercepts.
I don't think I heard, we titled this as group activity number 9 and we need to turn it in today?
No, but if I notice people aren't writing things down, then I'll ask for it.
Oh, boy.
All right. The third section. Determine the slope given 2 points. Now, do you think I'm going to give you that lovely formula? No. You got to memorize it. Remember I said it's the little wine glasses that sit on top of a picnic table, so that way you remember your y's are on top, x's are on the bottom. So that's what the third piece will look like. And then again, here's 2 problems. And I would label them just to help you out. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. That way you're just plugging into the formula.
And you'll have the numbers, we just have to
Yeah.
mark them
Just
in.
have to plug in and mark if you need. It might be a fraction answer. Remember, that's okay. Slopes we really actually want as a fraction, so it's not a big deal if it becomes.
And on this, how do we know it's a minus?
Because it's in the formula.
And the formula will be there.
No, you gotta know that.
Sorry, I was looking at a review sheet for the problems 13, 14, and 15. We have to.
We're gonna get to examples like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's what threw me earlier. Okay.
Well, okay, can I ask you this?
Okay.
Those are positive numbers there.
Mm-hmm.
Would that tell us it's opposite?
No, you just put the minus in between. So like for 5, my y2 is 12. So see back here, I just copied the number.
Uh-huh.
Then you put a subtraction sign, because that's what it says to do in the formula. Then my y1
Oh, that's what I was asking.
is 7. So you're just copying the subtraction sign.
But in the formula, it's gonna tell you,
This is the formula.
right, but on the,
It's not going to tell you the formula on the test. You have to memorize the one. All it's going to say is determine the slope, and it just gives you those points. You've got to know this part. You've got to know what it says.
You're always going to subtract.
you're always gonna subtract. That's the question that I need.
Always going to be subtraction.
Okay.
Then x2 is 3 minus x1 is 2. Now, once you have it set up like that, it should always be set up as a fraction. See if you can simplify. So we've got 12 minus 7 is 5. Over 3 minus 2 is 1. You can leave it as a fraction, 5 over 1, or you could just write 5. I don't care which one you write. Either will work. Okay. And then number 6, again, just plugging into the formula. My y2 is negative 2 minus my y1 is 4 all over. Now this part you do need to be careful with. My x2 is 5. Copy your minus sign, and what's your x1?
Negative.
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Now, notice these minus signs, because they're both sitting next to each other, really make a what?
Positive.
Positive. So you gotta be careful with that. If those two negatives are sitting next to each other, it's going to make a positive sign. So on top, I've got negative 2 minus 4, that's negative 6, all over 5 plus 3 is 8.
And you want that reduced, or?
Now, technically, I haven't taught you how to reduce fractions. We haven't gotten to that chapter. So if you leave it just like that, I can't take points off because you don't know how to technically do it yet. I haven't taught you. If you know how to reduce it, and you put this instead, I'll accept either answer. But if you're not sure on how to reduce a fraction, just leave it like it is. You don't have to simplify it. It just depends on your background. I don't know what you all know about simplifying fractions. All right, part 4. Now we're just getting into a whole bunch of gravity. Oh, sorry.
On the ones you just did, determining the slope,
Uh-huh.
doesn't slope tell you whether it's, what's the run over rise, right?
Yeah, rise over run.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But, when you leave the 5 over 1,
Okay.
you wouldn't need it. Only if you was graphing it?
Only if you were graphing.
Okay.
Yeah, because then if you left it as 5 over 1, you know you're rising 5, running 1. But if you're just saying the number, it doesn't matter which way you go.
Okay.
All right, and I brought my graph paper with me.